Good morning, good life, everyone. Welcome back to Amy TV, where we come together to help you go after the life you want. Stress is unavoidable. Yes, there are good stresses in our life, but we are here to combat the bad ones, aren't we? Today, I'm going to share some things that I do, whether it's every day or just periodically, for me to keep my stress low and my productivity high. As much fun as it is to go after the life that you want, things pop up in life that don't make it so easy. Feelings happen, and I personally think they just tend to get in the way. Okay, not all feelings, but when you start to feel negative due to stress, it turns out it's doing a lot more to you than just affecting your mood. The American Institute of Stress actually found in a study in 2014 that 77% of people in the US report experience with regular physical symptoms caused by stress, and 73% report experience with regular psychological symptoms caused by stress. They also say that there are 7 top causes of stress in this country, the number one being job pressure, followed by money, health, relationships, poor nutrition, media overload, and sleep deprivation. While these are all things that may or may not go away and we can continue to improve on them, we need to get clear on how we can relieve stress so we can at least manage and not get torn down by the inevitable. Me being someone who is obsessed with not being torn down, because that's something I should talk to my therapist about, I'm going to share some things that I do to keep my stress from making me less productive. Before we can beat stress, you know what time it is. I got to share some Twitter gratitude with someone special, and today I'm shining a light on Dawn Crane. Dawn, thank you so much for tuning into these videos. I acknowledge you for your time and attention, and thank you for retweeting my video when it came out. If you would potentially like to be featured here on Amy TV, all you gotta do is follow me on Twitter and retweet my latest video. When you see that tweet go, you can turn notifications on to increase your chances. That's a great idea. And you really can't miss it. It's just a very large photo, usually of my face, with an all caps title. Shout out to everybody who keeps leaving comments on these videos. They don't like my all caps titles. I don't intend to change them. For everyone that is watching and retweeting and subscribing and all those things, thank you so much. It means the world to me. This episode of Amy TV is also sponsored by Care Of. Travel season for me is picking up. I am going after my goals. I'm going after the life I want, and I cannot afford to slow down. So to make sure that all things are functioning properly, I take my vitamins, and if not for Care Of, they would not be the right vitamins because Care Of customizes vitamins for me. And you know I like everything custom. If you need some custom vitamins in your life, which I believe you do, then take a moment and take their 5-minute quiz. This will help you figure out what your priorities are and what you need to do to take care of yourself so they can develop the exact right custom packet of vitamins for you. I just want to give you a quick play-by-play of how Care Of is a part of my daily routine. The first thing I wake up in the morning and do is take care of my body. And so that means a lot of water, but also my skincare. So I will do my cleanser and toner, and then while I'm waiting for all of that to set, I will take my Care Of vitamins. I'm using the lemon water that I also prepare first thing in the morning for myself to get energized. After I take my vitamins, I pat some eye cream on and I brush my teeth while that sets, and then I throw on moisturizer and sunscreen. Yes, sunscreen, 5 a.m. Doesn't matter. And then I'm good to go. I highly recommend you check out Care Of. So if you want more details, and especially if you're quick, it's gonna be good for you. The link is in the description. The code is Amy, A-M-Y, all caps. The first 100 people to jump down there and sign up with my code are going to get 50% off their first box. So that's like 50% off an entire month's worth of vitamins. Why would you not at least give it a go? All the details are, of course, in the description below. Okay, here's what I do to relieve stress in my own life. First and foremost, my favorite thing in the world is sleep. I get plenty of sleep. I make sure to get 7 to 8 hours. If it's one of those days where I'm like, oh, I did not get enough time today, I don't get enough time tomorrow, I really could go for 6 hours of sleep. Emergency situations only. I am always getting at least 7. But sometimes there's a 6 in there. It's just every quarter or something, maybe once a month. Stress will sneak up on you like crazy if you are exhausted. So please stop telling yourself that you don't need sleep and that you'll sleep when you're dead. It doesn't work that way, okay? I hate to break it to you. Meditation. This is one that is not going to be for everybody, but I have started to enjoy it more and more. I did it for 30 days straight. You saw my video about that, and it has helped me so much that those moments of the day that cause stress just because of an occurrence, something that could have just happened and think this is life, I find myself remembering the calm moments of my morning when I meditated for 10 minutes, and it is so helpful. It helps me deal in a big way. It helps me see the big picture, and I do not stress out as much because I've been practicing mindfulness and self-awareness. This isn't for everybody, like I said, but if you are thinking maybe your mind is racing so much, it would be great to have a few moments it wasn't, or at least a few moments you tried to slow it down because we're not perfect, I highly recommend you check out some meditation tactics, however that looks for you. You can use an app, you can watch a YouTube video and try to do it, or you can just sit in silence and set a timer on your phone. Working out. I hate working out, but it works. Sorry. I feel so much better, tremendously over the top when I know that I've gotten my workout in, or at least like today, I haven't worked out. I know I'm going to as soon as I'm done filming, but if I stick with the habit on a regular basis, and we're talking about at least 80 to 90% of the days that I want to work out, I do, I can tell in my body that I'm healthier, I'm happier, I have more energy, and that just equals stress relief when sudden stress shows up and you have to deal with it, or overall stress does not compound itself because you're just too easygoing and feeling good. I highly recommend yoga as well. I love yoga so much. I feel like it's this opportunity to not just work out your body, but think about what you're doing with your body at the same time. It can be very easy to lose sight of what you're doing when you're just lifting dumbbells or doing things with machines. But when you are in complete control of your body, it's just another level, especially when you're meant to look somewhat dancer-like. That makes it special. I also feel very together with myself when I'm like got my yoga mat over my shoulder and I'm walking with my cute little yoga shoes and I'm ready to go, and I walk into a space where I'm working out and it is serenity and quiet and candles and like low music. I live for that. Massage and other self-care. I cannot encourage this enough, especially for those of us who do a lot of sitting in our life or do a lot of standing around in our life. Massage, allowing somebody to work out muscles that you didn't really know were getting all tied together, that's stress of the body. That can be stress everywhere else. If a part of your body is in pain because you're not taking care of it, then your mind can get stressed out too. So going to get a regular massage is something I try to do. I wish I could say I'm getting in there once a month. It's usually more like once every maybe 8 weeks or quarterly. I've prioritized it a lot more than I used to, but nowhere near as much as I do facials. Facials are much more important to me. But I do love a massage. I try to work it in because I know I give my body a really hard time as much as it may not be moving on a regular basis. Shout out to everybody that does hard labor for work because you need the massage even more than I do. But if this isn't for you, if that's not your thing, maybe it's just getting a pedicure, maybe it's just going and getting your nails done, just taking care of yourself, doing the thing that's stepping away from the norm and allowing somebody else to take care of you, or doing some other self-care thing that you don't make the time for, add that to this category. Think about how you can incorporate it more. It's helped me a ton. It's very easy for me to stay on this hamster wheel, and so I have to get off of it, and I incentivize myself to get off of it by getting a massage, getting my nails done, getting a facial, stuff like that. I read in a book recently about the power of distraction, and I find that I've actually started to work on this. I'm not mastering it quite yet because it's very easy to just get caught up in a stressful moment and let it take over. But I do find that if I'm stressed about something, if I don't have a solution, and that makes me upset, I do not like not having a solution, I try to distract myself from it, not in an unhealthy way, not in like a binge Netflix for a whole weekend and not make good on my obligations way, but distract myself for at least a little while, enough time that it makes sense in that situation to be able to reset and allow the feelings to subside for a little bit so that a clearer mind can actually come up with a solution. To me, if there is stress in your life and there is not a possible solution at all, it's either stress that you have to deal with because it is bigger than you, and that has happened to me in the last 6 months, or it is stress that is absolutely completely unnecessary somebody might be trying to put onto you, or maybe you're accidentally putting it onto yourself. That distraction is great for allowing the things that don't matter to fall away, and the things that do to start to clarify themselves a little bit as to how you can solve an issue. Another thing I'm kind of new to, but I'm really enjoying, and I talked about this a little bit in the past, is oil diffusing. So I have a little diffuser in my office. I love putting the oils in there. I actually have, at a weird level, have gotten obsessed with lemon. I'll drink my lemon water in the morning, and I will also have lemon diffusing from my diffuser, and I'm like, cliche, come on. Come on. Do you just want to swim in lemons now? Okay. I also really enjoy spearmint. That makes me feel awake. It makes me feel fresh. And before bed, I love to diffuse lavender. So I've been trying to expand a little bit on my nose journey of happiness, just the things that make me happy to smell, because of course seeing certain things would make me happy, or certain things occurring would make me happy, but smelling something that makes you happy is just a new opportunity to make that happen, and that relieves stress in a lot of ways. There are certainly experts out there that will tell you exactly which oils will de-stress you, and I don't have those answers for you. You can look into that with your favorite oil company, but for me, I just pick the ones that smell nice and I pop them in, and that works for me. We're gonna call this one Take a Walk, as much as many of you would like for me to call it Move Your Butt. Just take a walk, move your butt, but take a walk. Just clear your mind. This could be a distraction for you in that moment that you need the art of the distraction, the power of the distraction, or you just need to walk something off sometimes. Sometimes it's a stressful situation, you just gotta take a walk. I love to walk away from a stressful situation. I don't know about you, I'm pretty good at it. But keyword is walk, not get away. Walk it off, use the energy in your body to work through something, walk away, come back with something better. Morning pages, this has been a massive one for me. The amount of things morning pages has been solving for me is really incredible. I highly recommend you check out Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, where she talks in great detail about what morning pages is, but we also talk about it in great detail here. So if you don't know about it yet, you are new. Hello and welcome. Morning pages for me, 3 pages, unfiltered, first thing in the morning, whatever is on my mind. It's quite a boring read, if we're being honest. But the nice thing is that it's so boring sometimes. There's so much junk coming out of my head that doesn't need to have a place in my life. I get it out, I put it on paper, and then it's just like you close the book, it's done. And a lot of that stuff I don't keep thinking about. Or if they're bigger issues and I am thinking about them, I'm having a lot more clarity about it and less stress because I'm starting to articulate it into words rather than leave it jumbled up in my brain. Avoid alcohol. I love me a Prosecco, okay? I do. I'm a wine drinker and it makes me happy. But I actually try to avoid alcohol when I am stressed. It seems like you would do the opposite, right? A lot of people will say oh, I had a stressful day, I'm gonna come home and have a beer. Well, I don't tend to do that because I know that alcohol is a depressant. And so if I'm just gonna further depress myself when I know perfectly well I'm stressed out, that just doesn't really make any sense. I personally would rather go into a Prosecco in a great mood and make it better by having just one little drink. So when I'm stressed, I avoid alcohol pretty much altogether because I know it's not a solution. And I am just an addict of solutions. There you go. High on solutions. Is that a thing? And most importantly, the last thing I'll say is just the things that you have in your life on a daily basis. What are your daily rituals? When I wake up, I do my skincare, I feel amazing. When I go to sleep and I do my skincare, I feel amazing. When my bed is made, when I wake up in the morning after Vin wakes up in the morning, actually, because I get out before him, I love going back to my bed at night and seeing that it's made. These are the pillar moments in your life, the journaling, the workouts, things like that, that if you keep them consistent, they will level you so that when peaking moments of cortisol levels go haywire, you can manage. If I didn't have my daily rituals, if I wasn't completely obsessed with the vitamin taking and the dog walking and all this stuff, I would not be able to manage some crappy email that comes in and ruins my day. All right, let's share what we've learned with a tweetable. We don't have to avoid what we know isn't permanent. Don't let a moment define you. All right, I want to hear from you. What are your best stress release tips? How do you stay productive? How do you combat the crap? Leave it in the comments below. I want to learn more ways to do this for myself. I'm selfish like that, And thank you again to our sponsor of this episode, Care of. Check out their vitamins and get 50% off your first month if you're one of the first 100 people to click that link below and use my code Amy. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you remember to subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. Cheers. Lucy literally just bailed in the middle of my video. WTF? Why the face?